It's another day we have the opportunity and the privilege to talk about our health. How are you doing? Good morning to you. Good day to you. Wherever you're watching us from all over the world, wherever you're tuning in, or anytime you'll be watching this, wish you the very best of this particular day that you're listening and watching us wherever. Okay, this is Galaxy Television. The program is Family and Values. I hope you had a restful night, because your rest goes a long way. You know, as much as myself and my colleague here have always talked about the 8 hours sleep, I'm still hearing it is good for you to rest. Take your rest. Yes, you may not have the opportunity and the privilege of going through the 8 hours at a stretch, but there are times when you can just close your eyes. 30 minutes, 1 hour, when your body seek it. Yes, our body do seek it, but sometimes we just push it aside. So when your body seek it, try as much as possible to give it to your body. Release yourself. Release yourself, because health is wealth. When we say health is wealth, it's all about your well-being, your state of mind, your mental body, you know, everything that has to do with you. And your mental state is very, very, very important. Sometimes our body calls for it, but we just push it aside. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Your blood pressure, your sugar level, the way you take salt, all these carbonated drinks, watch out. Yes, some of them can help to do certain things in your body, help to increase your sugar level, but still watch it, because too much of everything is not good. On that note, I want to welcome you to Galaxy once again, and the program, like I told you, Family and Values. So today we'll be talking about health. How is your family doing in terms of health? How well do you keep your environment clean? Apart from the government making the business people, you know, try to make their Thursday to do environmental sanitation and everything, do you take it into cognizance to clean your environment? Those bushes, those weeds around you. You're breeding mosquitoes. You're drenched. Do you clear it? Do you take time to go? You're waiting for the government to come and do it for you. God will help you. Okay, God will help you. On that note, my name is Olori Adejoke Adobe David, and my friends call me Olori AJ. You can join us on all our social media platforms as we run today's show, because I am not here. I'm here with the lady in a babyish looking for sure pink, and she's just smiling. She's yet to give me that earring. If you see her wearing it, she's yet to give me. How are you this morning?
Fine.
I don't want to hear the story about the gym today, because sometimes you need rest from the gym.
No,
you need from the gym.
I'm rested because we are actually observing our camping period. So I've rested. And
better.
Yeah, good morning to you. Welcome to Healthy Thursday on Family and Values. We are streaming live. Please go to our YouTube page, our Facebook page, so you can watch us live. I am Princess Joy Ayo. We're talking about health. This morning, the roads were polluted by vehicles who have issues with their exhaust. How do you drive your vehicles and the whole road is all foggy because you cannot fix your exhaust and everywhere is polluted? Come on, we are talking about health, and health is very key. Just like one of our guests said, make health one of your goals this year. So please, as little as checking your BP, it can save you trouble in the future. A little check on your BP doesn't cost anything. Walk into any pharmacy, walk into any health facility, rest for like 5 minutes, tell them, oh please, I want to check my BP. They'll do it for you free of charge. So please, be conscious with your health this season. It's very important. Make sure you protect your mental health. That's another aspect of health you need to put in check. There's a whole lot of news flying there, a whole lot of stuff's flying, but please be conscious and stay cool, stay calm, and enjoy the show with us this morning. It's going to be a wonderful one. It's a learning process for all of us. Welcome to the show this morning.
Okay, so as we welcome you to the show, any birthday shout out, every celebrant out there, wish you the very best of today. We pray today as you celebrate the 30th day in the month of January. It's a very significant month and a very significant day number as it is. 30 is so beautiful, and I pray the beauty in the 30th day of January, this particular year 2025, will radiate around about you. And if you're not celebrating anything, you're just happy. It's good to be happy. It's good to get your own happiness and your own sunshine, like I've always told you. And as you do this, we pray that God in his infinite mercy will look down upon you and shower you with the blessings that you deserve and that you wish from your heart. It's time for us to go for our mini feature. So be right back to continue with this topic because our guest is very prompt and is right there waiting. So stay tuned. Let's go for our mini feature.
The Unseen Path, Understanding Alzheimer's Disease. Alzheimer's disease is a complex journey that deeply affects not only the individual diagnosed, but also their family members and friends. It often begins subtly, with seemingly minor issues like misplacing everyday items such as keys or wallets, or experiencing difficulty in finding the right words during conversations. These initial signs can lead to confusion and concern, highlighting the importance of early detection and intervention. Diagnosing Alzheimer's disease is a multifaceted process that involves a thorough evaluation. This typically includes gathering a comprehensive medical history, conducting physical examinations, performing a variety of laboratory tests, and carrying out cognitive assessments that evaluate memory, reasoning, and problem-solving abilities.
Mum had symptoms of dementia years before her diagnosis, and I decided to say to Dad, "Oh, can we go for a walk? I just want to talk to you about something." We went for a drive and I asked him if he'd noticed anything about Mum, and he said yes, but I don't want to talk about it.
While receiving a diagnosis of Alzheimer's can be emotionally overwhelming, it also serves as a crucial turning point that helps families understand the condition and plan for the future. Although there is currently no cure for Alzheimer's disease, a range of effective strategies exist to manage symptoms and enhance quality of life. These may include medication to address cognitive symptoms, engaging in regular physical activity, and adopting a balanced diet designed to support brain health. Additionally, utilizing memory aids and establishing structured routines can help individuals adapt to the changes brought by the disease.
When the final diagnosis of Alzheimer's was given, the emotions were overwhelming. My hope became fragile at best.
I felt that I let my family down. I felt like that I allowed myself to go down some way, and just sadness.
It's essential to recognize that navigating this journey does not have to be done alone. Caregiving is a deeply rewarding yet challenging experience that requires patience and resilience. Providing care involves not only offering practical support, but also fostering emotional connections and creating a nurturing environment for the loved one affected by Alzheimer's.
My mum had a period of time in a care home previously. There was nothing there that could trigger her memories of being in the place that she loved.
It made me see that there is the reality of living with Alzheimer's disease.
If I was going to choose 3 words to describe my mother, my mum, so strong and family-oriented and energetic.
Caregivers play an invaluable role in enhancing the well-being of those living with Alzheimer's, ensuring they feel understood, loved and supported. Importantly, there is a wealth of resources available, including support groups and community organizations that can help provide assistance, advice and a sense of camaraderie for both caregivers and those affected by the disease. Together with the supporting community, we can face the challenges of Alzheimer's with courage and compassion, ultimately enriching the lives of everyone involved in this journey. This special report is written and produced by Tesli Majai for Family&Values.
Welcome back. Today's topic, it's very, very, very important to us as human. If you have your old ones around you, the elderly, you're always in their midst, your uncles, your aunties, your mom, those who respect so much, even your role model, your mentor, some of them are old. And this particular ailment or sickness or disease, I don't know which one will put it. The doctor will help us with this. This morning we're talking about Alzheimer. Alzheimer. That's the topic talking about. And this disease is very, very important for us to know how it goes, what happens, what are those significances or those things, symptoms which you look out for, especially with people around us, the elderly ones. According to that mini feature, I'm sure you had a whole full information, but there are still some things the doctor, our own dear doctor who celebrated his birthday some days back, Dr. Emma Onyenuche. He is the medical director of Waterfalls Medical Center in Okota. It's so good to have you this morning, Doctor. Good morning, sir. We are delighted to have you. And happy belated birthday greetings to you. Hello, Doctor. Are you still there?
Good morning, Dr. Emma.
Hello, Dr. Emma. Are you there? Okay, while we're trying to get Doctor back. Joy. Alzheimer. Alzheimer. What's your feel? The forgetfulness is my own, because a big credit goes to our supervising producer. Okay, Mr. Teslim Ajayi, he was able to help to put all this together, and I am not taking it for granted. We love you. We appreciate all that you do to help us on Family and Values.
You see,
so what's your take?
Yesterday I met an elderly woman, and she had her bag. She bought some fruits, and so she had the bag with her. And then she stood by me and was asking me, have you seen where I kept my fruits? And these fruits were right in front of her. And she was asking me, she was like, she's looking for her fruits. And I held her hand and I said, Mama, see it. And she said, oh, Eshe Okome. Now that brings me to what we are talking. It's actually a reality. A lot of elderly people are going through it. So that immediately, when I saw that, I now remember that, oh,
this is what Mr. Teslim was talking about. So
we are going to be discussing tomorrow on the show. And I was just telling the kids, I said, don't worry, I'll send you a clip so that it will help. You know, the grandchild was like, the grandchild always runs to me, as a mommy, grandma will keep her money here. I will be asking us, grandma will keep this one. Grandma can leave her shoes in church, you know.
Do you know sometimes even you in the house, I don't know what they call that, but we're going to have to ask Dr. Emma when he comes on. Okay, sometimes you'll be looking for something in the house and you'll be holding it.
I've had a situation.
It may be your phone. It may be in short. Oh God, there was a day I was looking for something and I was telling the teacher, please, did you help me find I cannot even remember what it is now. But I was looking all over the place. Unfortunately,
there was a day that
hey, welcome, Dr. Emma.
Looking all fresh this morning.
Good morning, doctor. How are you, sir?
This one, doctor, you're not smiling. What is it?
Doctor, good morning. Happy belated birthday greeting to you once again.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you all for even celebrating me on live that day. I am very appreciative.
Okay, as we go into the business of today, what is Alzheimer? Alzheimer. How does it take effect? What are those things? You know, myself and Joy, we're just talking about what happens to us in the house. We are not that old, no. You know, we're not in our 70s or our 80s. But
we are not.
You know, when you are holding something in your hand and suddenly you just forgot you are having that thing around you, does it happen to the young ones? And is there any other name for it, or is it still Alzheimer?
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning again. No, so Alzheimer is more of a disease of the old. Usually starts from 65 years and above. And although, like many diseases, there can also be early onset for some reason. You can see people at 40 years or so, but it's not common. Commonly, asthma is typically old age disease, and it's because of changes in the brain, what we call degenerative changes in the brain. And then you begin to notice that they have one of the commonest things you notice in Alzheimer is memory loss. There's usually memory loss, and cognitive functions is also affected. So they are not coordinated like before. So you can see, so you see a family, I mean, where the father or mother used to be in charge, doing a lot of things, I mean, people look up to the person and suddenly look like the person is losing it, cannot quite remember things again, cannot be coordinated. You just notice that there's a lot of change. So because it's something that affects the mental health, so and there's irreversible changes. Once it starts, you just notice that the person is aloof. The person, they appear aloof. They can't remember things easily again, and
Sharing with Olori, I had an encounter yesterday with an elderly woman. But now, what are some of the coping mechanisms for asthma? I'm sure there are ways we can go about it when it comes to coping, or how we can help the elderly people cope. What are those coping mechanisms that can help them when we see these symptoms and these traces in them? Hello, doctor.
Hello, doctor. I think you're having network issues on that part, but really it could be very traumatizing.
I was trying to share an experience.
When you have this old people around you with that.
In my mental head, I thought I had carried the money, not knowing. This is the money. Okay, I've put the money in my bag mentally, but the money was still where it was. Wow. I stepped out. I had climbed back, and then when I wanted to pay, I said, I thought I carried this money. Hey, I now remember that the money was just where it was.
So you can imagine an older person.
Imagine what they would be going through.
Imagine.
Just like the experience I shared with you. And then, grandchildren were saying, that's not grandma will forget this one. That's not grandma will be complaining. Grandma will put her issues there. And I told them, don't worry, I understand your problem. Okay, doctor is back.
Welcome back.
Welcome, doctor.
Welcome back, doctor. So you can continue. Joy was trying to ask a question.
I was asking the coping mechanisms for asthma, especially for elderly people who are just finding themselves in this situation, and maybe kids are trying to understand why is grandpa suddenly having memory loss, forgetful, and all that. What are some of the coping mechanisms that can actually help them?
Yeah, so Alzheimer's disease is something that affects the whole family, because suddenly someone that is a father figure, mother, parent, begins to lose it. Let me use that word. So it's devastating initially to the person affected, and also the people who are suffering from that effect. So it affects everyone directly or indirectly in the family. So the way to cope is to, first of all, understand that it's not an attack. It's not a spiritual attack. It's not enemies that are targeting the person. It's not arrow that someone has, their enemy for long has eventually succeeded in getting the person. That can happen.
Okay. Hello, doctor, are you still there? Okay, I want to ask doctor, what are the symptoms, likely symptoms? I'm sure it's not going to just start like that. Apart from the memory loss, what other symptoms one should look out for, or their family, their caregiver, and people around them should look out for? Then what are the dangers that comes with this Alzheimer? Because, hey, I tell you, when I heard the story of an old woman who left home. In short, there was a particular woman, this one, I heard the story. Live, I was there. Not that I heard the story, it was live. I think she left home. And before she came back, they thought she was a witch. She was beaten. She had moths all over her. I think someone rescued her and brought her back to our neighborhood. And at the end of the day, they were asking, Mama, what did you go, why are you in that area? Where were you really going? She left home. She left home. And before you know it, she could not find her way back to until someone saw her who lives around the neighborhood. You understand? And was able to rescue her. No, the son is outside the country. No, she's not that kind of person. She's not a witch. Welcome back, doctor. We know it's the network. How is Okota this morning? Okota, stop doing us like this. Let doctor talk to us this morning. Okay, so doctor, I wanted to ask, apart from the memory loss, what happened and what are the dangers of not taking cognizance of the symptoms when they start appearing or coming to play? Because sometimes you see certain things and say, Mommy, that some just push it aside and ignore it. But what are the dangers that comes with it if one does not take the right step to these symptoms, flashes coming from time to time before it finally manifests itself to totally, lose the memory?
Yeah, okay, so like you said, yes, it starts coming. It's the degenerative changes in the brain. So it starts manifesting gradually, and you start noticing that memory loss. Yes, so cognitive function is all the other functions the brain do, which can involve even concentrating to do tasks, not completing tasks or performing tasks well, the way the person used to do. It can even progress to some form of hallucinations eventually, so the person cannot concentrate, he cannot deliver on simple assignments, cannot do tasks, perform tasks well again, unlike how the person, so if the person is working or engaged in a work, it's shabbily done. It's no longer even simple hygiene can start being affected because the coordination is not there again. So in addition to memory loss, which is one of the cardinal things noticed, those cognitive functions, the ability to do the simple everyday task, is affected. So they make mistakes on issues. So eventually it can now lead to depression. Of course, when someone feels that there is no longer in control of as they used to be, the next thing that will follow is depression. So it's linked to depression because someone feels that it's not in control. I mean, they often find themselves doing what they didn't think they will do. So it affects them mentally, it affects the family also, who are now under pressure to begin to take care of someone who used to take care of themselves. So those gamut of things follow that initial degeneration until, like you said, it will go into full-blown mental issues that, now people can start having other health issues that develop secondary to that initial degenerative change. So it just continues endless until the brain dies, because it's brain that is dying, its brain changes. So eventually it will lead to death.
While we're having our conversation, I love the fact that you said it is not arrow, it is not witches, because we are used to tagging a lot of things now, you know. Somebody who doesn't have an idea will just take the parents to church and start binding on cancer and spiritual battle, causing more harm, causing more danger to the individual. Because if you go to a place where they have to flog the elderly person, or they have to isolate the elderly person because they feel one arrow has flown from somewhere, and you know, it's a witch or a wizard, and you see that a whole lot. Now, but let's talk about the major dangers that is associated, especially with the senior citizens. What are those striking dangers that we can know that when it gets to this point, is it something that they can go to a rehabilitation center? Is there a place, or is it where they can be taken to the hospital when the dangers are very alarming? It's okay, we can no longer cope this in the house, we can take the person to the hospital for treatments. What are those dangers that when it gets there? Because I was sharing with her, I have somebody very close to me in my neighborhood that yesterday had this thing, you know, and they peg grandkids are saying she's been like that, she's been forgetful. One is beyond just keeping the person in the house. This person needs medical help.
All right. Yes, they actually need attention. That's where caregiving comes in. And you know that caregiving is something taken very seriously outside the shores of this country, where in societies that are organized, people recognize that the elders need attention. Children and elders are vulnerable because they have similar traits. They can't help themselves. So there is a structured place, elders are. So people give them particular attention because they are no longer able to do what they used to do. When this Alzheimer sets in, they will be forgetful, they will not do simple tasks, and it will affect them generally. So they need that attention. So yes, if you leave it, you get to that level where a caregiver must be around. And when we're in a community, a society where that is not structured, it becomes a burden on family, because some people to sacrifice their job to take care of their parents, and especially their job is also a source of livelihood for the family. So it becomes they find themselves in a fix. So sometimes they will relegate the parent to village. They'll not say they'll send them back. So you see a lot of people returning to village to go and die, because it's worse when people go to village because they are old. That's our own way of retiring the elderly, to let them go back to the village where there is little or no care. They are just there, sometimes idle and isolated, and quicking their death. Everyone is just expecting that anyway. It's old age, but it's not really so. Although Alzheimer's it doesn't have a cure in that sense, but there are a lot of care that can be given, and the person's life is quality and prolonged, you know. So, but if all that is developed, of course, there will be need to go to hospital as per health. But, you know, people who take care of elderly people are there, who give them care, who check all the other things. Of course, for them to be healthy, all that fact, all that is, that they have Alzheimer's doesn't mean that their blood pressure will go, their diabetes will go, their arthritis will go. So all those care are still needed. So we don't want them to be compounded. Let them be healthy physically. Then we now be able to conservatively manage the mental health issues that has developed. So there's a place for hospital, but more importantly is the care, to be here for them. So it's a family should structure to be able to give them attention.
Doctor, what we're going to be asking you is to please give us a minute. We need to run our mini feature. I will be right back. Let's take this break because we have people who want to ask you 1 or 2 questions. So we're opening our phone lines by the time we'll come back, so that doctor will attend to any question. If you have any question, just send us a text message on the number on your screen as we go for our mini feature. We'll be right back, so stay tuned. Welcome back. We're so sorry for that little break in transmission. Doctor, are you still with us? We have a question for you already. The number to send your text message to is 08023036856. 08023036856. It's right there on your screen. Just send your text message. Already we have a question for Dr. Emma Onyenuche. Dr. Emma Onyenuche, are you there? Is the MD of Waterfalls Hospital in Okota. Hello? Okay, while we're waiting for doctor, I still also want to ask, what's the difference between Alzheimer and I forgot it now. Hey, don't tell me I'm part of them. Dementia, yes. I wanted to ask what's the difference, because some will want to know about dementia too. We know dementia has a whole lot put together. So if you're looking at, okay, doctor, welcome back.
Welcome back, doctor.
Doctor, we have a question for you. One of our viewers just sent a text message and he said, is it genetic? Alzheimer, is it genetic? And I also want to ask, what's the difference between Alzheimer and dementia? What's the difference? Can you help us with those two questions as we continue? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. Alzheimer is actually the same thing as, it's a type of dementia. Let's use that word. It's a type of dementia. Dementia is just the same thing, changes in the brain that will lead to cognitive disorder, which includes memory loss, inability to concentrate on tasks, irritability, inability to do simple things like even solving simple mathematics that someone knows. So dementia, Alzheimer is a type of dementia, but it's a dementia for old age. In essence, it is also called senile dementia. That means dementia of old people. So basically, the same things you see in dementia is what you also see in Alzheimer. So it's a type of dementia. So dementia is a broad term that covers all of those categories. So Alzheimer is one type of dementia called senile dementia. That's another name for Alzheimer, senile dementia. Yeah, so it can happen. It's not really, the genetic aspect is not pronounced. So, I mean, it just occurs due to changes in the brain. Some substances accumulate. When they accumulate in the brain, so that someone father had dementia doesn't translate to that person becoming having Alzheimer automatically.
Okay, doctor. Thank you for giving us that definition and making us understand that it's another type of dementia. Now, relating it to the case of the granny around my area, now already they said it started a very long time ago, and you have said that there is no specific cure for it. So the elderly people have to live, that have this thing, have to live with it, and then care comes in. Now, for an elderly woman that has little kids, at her care, how dangerous is that? Because the incident I encountered, and I was just sharing with my co-host Olori, they just left her with little children to take care of, and so this thing happens here. How healthy is it? How dangerous is it to leave them to be the one taking care of little ones rather than them being taken care of? I know in Africa we have a tradition that you just carry your kids to your parents'
because
place
they are old.
You feel like granny will be able to do, and she's experienced, and the little ones are saying, grandma has been doing this. How dangerous is it even to the children? Will it get to a point that one day she will just leave, and how dangerous is that?
Yeah, it's important that you ask that question. In one of my comments, I mentioned that the two extremes are vulnerable. The children are vulnerable and require care. The elderly are vulnerable and require care. They are special group of people that should be given attention besides women, that needs attention in the society. So if we notice that a grandma, for instance, is beginning to exhibit some symptoms that were not there before, it is a risk to allow children who cannot help themselves to be with such person. So if it is noticed, I mean, somebody else has to come into the picture because it's going to be a risk for to keep children with a woman that forgets, a woman that cannot concentrate in doing tasks, a woman that is battling with depression and they can be easily irritable. Sometimes you see videos in social media where someone is doing something. Sometimes it can be as a result of mental issues like that. So someone that is battling depression and is easily angered, you will not put a child that will obviously children will cause things that will make someone to be angry. So sometimes there can be exaggerated reactions because the person already has depression and mental health issues they are battling with. So it's not a good idea to allow children to stay with people who are beginning to be demented. Besides the fact that they will not be able to give the children proper care and nurturing the children need, um, they themselves are also in need of care. So then although we say that as Alzheimer doesn't have a cure, however, it's also managed. It can be managed well. The multidisciplinary management, even psychiatrists are involved, neurologists because it involves the brain can be involved. Even that's why I said in abroad where the thing is structured, you wouldn't know. You see them clean, kept, well kept, you will not know because the symptoms are carefully managed. Even people who are involved with occupational hazard or occupational management, they are there. Then the general caregivers and their family physician is also involved. So all this, so depending on what is involved, if it is issues that have to do with their physical health, maybe they have hypertension, diabetes, they are taking care of. Things that crosses the line of psychiatrists will be invited. If they notice that one is speaking to herself, beginning to hallucinate, and all that. Then the ones that have to do with brain, the neurologists get involved. So that way, maximum care is given and the person's life is prolonged meaningfully.
Hello, doctor. Okay, so I
Hello.
want to ask, sir, what are the benefits because of our time? And I want you to be able to, give us a total package today so that you not go away and we'll be like, we left some things unasked. So, what
Yes.
are the benefits of caregivers around this particular set of people with Alzheimer? What are the benefits of caregivers around them? And again, is it possible we have them, we have them exercising, doing their normal routines? I mean, people who are having this particular disease, doing normal routine, does it help? Those are the two last questions I want to ask you before you leave. Dr. Emma, are you still there?
Yeah,
Dr.
I'm
Emma,
there.
did
Can
you
you
get
hear
my
me?
question?
So,
Okay.
yes, I got your question clear. So, exercise is also part of the therapy. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention it. Exercise is very, very good when it comes to mental rehabilitation and and physical also rehabilitation. So exercise is good routine, like you said, either joining a group or particular kind of exercise, even walking around. So exercise also helps to for people who have mental health issues, especially the elderly. Some form of exercise is very, very useful to them for them to be able to cope. So, I mean, it is very okay for them to exercise, and the benefits of exercise is well documented. In addition to other things that we have also already said in terms of taking care of their health Then caregivers are very useful. That's why the business of caregiving is thriving. It's thriving abroad. We see a lot of people who go now. This caregiving. Most of them is this elderly homes. Elderly homes is where they go to work. So it's and the families cherish it a lot because they will not be able to take care of their elderly because of their job and schedule. So instead of the person being neglected, a caregiver, someone that is dedicated to making sure that this person is well taken care of. I mean, their place cannot be overemphasized. So caregiving, they meet that gap. So that's why it's not a job that is played with, especially people who have some form of training to recognize when this person has need, when something is going wrong, and then even the daily activities of taking care, making sure the person is manage hygiene, he doesn't forget to eat food, they takes their medication because they can leave their medication and completely forget. They will not they will see the drug. They will not be saying that they don't want to take overdose. They can't remember if they have taken it or they have not taken it. But the caregiver just knows the time to give the drug. He gives them the medication. He ticks in the paper that they have taken the drug. He makes sure they eat food. He makes sure they take them to a walk or for exercise. So those routine that the person having the disease cannot remember again. That's where the caregiver comes in to fill in that gap, and they live, fantastically well, and the burden is lifted even on the rest of the family.
Rounding up. Please, doctor, what causes itching and hotness of body in a 6-year-old child? What causes itches and hotness of body in a 6-year-old child? Just give us 60 seconds on that answer, doctor, if you're still there. 60
What
seconds.
causes itching and hotness?
Yes. Anyway, itching is a skin condition, so it can be caused by a number of things, including infections on the skin. If there is poor hygiene and the child uses either wears a cloth or lies in the surrounding or uses the fomite that has been infected, over time they will develop skin conditions. Common simple fungal infections on the skin can cause itching. So then it can also be allergy. Some children they react to some things and then they start to itch their body. They have rashes. It can also be simple viral exanthem that will cause the rash. So hotness of the body, it's important that once a child is hot, that the child is giving attention, because it can be the first signal of things like malaria, things like sepsis. So if the child's body is hot and it's confirmed that it has high temperature, we need to find out why. That means tests can be run. Is it malaria, which is common? Is it infection in the throat, in the ear, or even in the blood? Those are things that can cause that hotness. But ultimately, it's important to see the doctor, healthcare provider, able to diagnose it because, like I have just said, it can be a number of things. So it's not something you just say, oh, this is the only thing that causes itching and hotness of the body. No. Like I've said, it can be fungal infection on the skin. It can be contamination from where the child lies down or the cloth he wears. Some of the children will not wash their cloth for long. It can also be other diseases or even allergies.
Thank you so much, doctor. We appreciate your time with us this morning. We are so grateful that you could make it. I wish you the very best of this new age and new year of your life. We pray to not be the least of celebration around
you. Looking fresh now. Dr. Ima, you're looking fresh. Just one day come to the studio. Let me look at what I will take from you.
We have to go, doctor. I wish you the very best of today. Enjoy your day. Thank you for always being there.
Thank you. You heard it all.